Hey guys, I'm Matt.
And I'm Taylor.
And we've just received our second solar panel from Renogy, and we're here in the Lowe's car park, and we're going to put it on here today. Alright guys, here's the panel here, just out of the shop. Let's open it up and check it out. Alright, so it looks like we've got to stand it up on the ground, and we should just be able to slip it out. Do you want to take that in? There it is. Look at that, nice shiny new. So we also had this package that came with the other bits and pieces. So this will be all the spare brackets. We also have the connector parts here. So it looks like they gave us a few different bits and pieces. I don't think we'll be using these tech screws. My guess is that these bolts are for bolting the brackets onto the panel, and then these are obviously the connectors to connect it into the system. We're probably going to have to start by taking our existing panel off so we can see where we can mount the brackets. Alright, so Taylor's just removing our existing panel. We're doing this because it's going to make it a lot easier to access the cords underneath. And also we think the only way to mount it to these channels is actually going to be to take this off. So I'll just show you guys what's going on here. Taylor's just holding the panel up, or at least trying to, and I'm gonna try and undo these. I'll probably need both hands, so I'll have to put the camera down. So we're just gonna slide the panel off now. Coming down to Taylor. So that was our existing panel. So now we're going to mount this one to this one, the channel, and then add another piece of channel to it. Okay, so Taylor's just mounting one of the brackets to the new panel. This is the rear bracket. Alright, so Taylor's just gone into Lowe. She's picking up a couple of mounting brackets, and I'm just finishing up mounting the two panels together. I'll show you what I'm doing. So right here you can see we've got one panel here, the second here, and we've mounted them together in the same spot, and that hopefully shouldn't prove any issues with clearance to the roof or anything like that. Now I'm just waiting on Taylor so we can finish mounting this rear bracket. I just took a cloth, well actually an old pair of socks, and I gave the roof a bit of a clean underneath where the old panel was, and also where we're putting the new panel. There was a bit of dirt and grime build up, so I just gave it a quick wipe off with some soap. Taylor had already previously hit a couple of little rust spots it had with some red oxide primer, so we should be good just to put it straight back on. Not that I want to do any rust proofing or painting while we're in Lowe's. So I'm still waiting for Taylor. Hopefully she'll be here soon. She might have gotten lost in there, I think. And here you can see the connector that goes down to the charge controller. You've just got one positive, one negative cord, and these plugs, they're a male and a female, so they can only go one way, and that corresponds with the adapters we got. So this here goes from 1 to 2 positive and 1 to 2 negative. So I've just hooked each panel up to one of these, and then that'll get hooked up to the main connector. I've just hooked up the second panel, and I'm going to run them just through one of the sort of gaps in the roof there. And then these two will be under the front main panel. She's finally back. Been about an hour. Show us what you've got.
Got these bad boys. Got these bad boys.
Some bolts.
And I got a whole lot of these bad boys.
Some washers and stuff. Alright, so we've just got Taylor tightening up these brackets now. Coming together good. This piece of channel's been mounted. Now as you can see, we had a little issue in that the channel doesn't have slots in the right place for this hole, and we don't have a drill. So we've put our spare mount just beside it, and when we get access to a drill, we'll drill that out. We do still have it bolted with one bolt here. And it's actually the same on this side of channel as well. So Taylor's just tightening those two up as well. It was pretty light with one panel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have too much trouble putting this on. It's just an awkward size. And one thing we're going to need to watch out for is where these cables sit. But aside from that, I think we shouldn't have too many issues. One other thing I was just telling Taylor, because we've mounted the bracket for the second panel on top of the first, we might have a clearance issue between the roof and these bolt heads. If we do, we should just be able to remove one of the washers and it should fix the problem. Shouldn't be too heavy. A little flexible in the middle, it's not too heavy though. So I'll move it over and then Taylor will have to help me lift it up. Can you try and support it in the middle? Oh yeah, almost. Yeah, just keep pushing.
Hey, it looks like everything went okay.
Alright guys, now we've got to lift it up and we've got to try and plug it all together. So, see what we've got going on under here. These are the two cords coming from the back panel. And I wanted them to be inside like that. Probably in that channel there. Then hopefully those two, as I set it down, will stay where I want them. Not cool. Yeah, it looks like they can sit where they are without any trouble. They're not getting squished. Now I'm just looking to see if we have clearance for those bolt heads, which we looks like we do. Just. So now we can just sort of get it in the right spot and we should be able to mount it. Alright, so now we're just going to try and get it aligned properly. So Taylor, it's definitely got to come my way a bit.
Okay. It's so pretty.
Alright, now Taylor's just trying to get the bolts for the channel in. What's the problem? It needs to be further over.
Yeah, it's not far enough that way.
I see.
Check it out, guys. 1 panel, 2 panel, and the fan sits just behind. That's just tightening up the bolts now.
The channels aren't quite sitting square on the roof. They're just sort of sitting where they want to lay because some of the bolts actually contact the roof, so we sort of put it where they don't do that. It's only like 5mm in it. Okay guys, so we actually wound up with this extra piece of channel. We think at some point we might use it, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bolt it on top of another piece of the channel up there. Okay. I'll tighten the other side and then that's our spare piece of channel if we decide to extend our rack. Alright, now Taylor's just cleaning our older panel off to make it look brand new. What do you reckon, Taylor?
I love it!
They get dirty pretty quickly.
Yeah, they do. Especially parking under trees and stuff. Alright guys, that's how you add a second solar panel to your already existing solar panel setup.
It's already getting late and we're still in the parking lot, so we're going to go find somewhere warm and put some food on. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos.